Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII. It may seem odd that I'm starting a video in the middle of the load-up screens and whatnot, but I was off-screening, not like for content, just to like check on something. I wasn't sure how to get the actual roads between cities to open up, so I confirmed my understanding off-screen and then I realized, oh, it's like right on the half hour. Perfect time to start a video because it'll be really easy for me to spot when it's time to wrap it up. So what we're doing is I'm having to go by time played to figure out what is the right slot here. But we're going to pick up from where we were last time, where we were hanging around right outside of a gate we had just opened. We were also an empty vessel when I was selected to be the divine vessel. Because, was I selected to be the divine vessel because I was already empty inside? According to a historian who inherited the scripture Vetra, the Grail of Valhalla is not a thing but a person worthy of the goddess's name. He thinks that person is me ever since I awoke as the savior. I felt something was missing from me. Whatever it is that makes humans human, it seems to be gone from me. Wouldn't it be ironic if that's why I was chosen for my role? Is it that the less human I am, the better I am able to serve as humanity's protector, or am I being groomed to take Etro's place? Man, she's reading a lot more into this than I did. But then again, she's got cause to think about it pretty hard because, you know, it's her all this is happening to. At any rate, there are Arius ruins that we should be exploring more carefully than we are, I think, because I realized in my tiny bit of off-screening, I opened the path here. That doesn't open the road. I have to warp to Luxarian or take a train and open the other side of this road, and even when I do that, it still won't open until the next time I visit the Canvas of Prayers, aka Chocobocolina, and turn the quest in. But while there, I noticed, oh, I've already done Roadworks 3, but I haven't done Roadworks 2 yet. And Roadworks 2 involves a key I have and a key I don't have, and the key I don't have is located inside a treasure sphere at the Arius Hill Ruins in the Wildlands. So this is the Arius Climb, Arius Village. Like, it's got to be around here somewhere, so we actually need to go find this. We got sheeple here. Combination sheep and people. They're so upbeat about it. I heard the end of the world this year. Might be a great chance to go traveling. They're not that bothered about the fact that the world's about to end. So is this green spot on its butt like the result of us sitting on it? This has like a little section of its, So these are probably the ruins, so I probably need to look over here really carefully for a treasure chest. The guide I'm looking at doesn't tell me. There's no diagram that shows like exactly where it is. There's fire level 2. I was convinced that was going to be it.
Sure, we leave the heavy lifting to the menfolk.
Okay, she's talking about the heavy lifting being left to the men folk. Once again, I really feel like this game would be better without that ticking clock. It's stressing me out to feel like I'm wasting time and not knowing exactly where this treasure chest is. Also, you know, I've been watching speedruns recently, not of this game, but just the general concept of speedruns. Maybe it's not a good thing to watch a speedrun and then go let's play, because you'll get stressed out about stuff you shouldn't really be worried about, but I'm starting to think I'm going to let myself worry about this until I, at the very least, what I need to do. I thought that was it for a second. At the very least, what I need to do then is If I don't stop to find a treasure chest near these ruins... What I could do is, oh, is this it? Yeah, alright. Easy peasy. So, there's other stuff for us to do here in the Wildlands, including we have another, I don't think it's, based around time, though. It's a power booster that needs to be gotten between 11 and 4. Moogle dust may or may not have already been taken care of. Fading prayer, forbidden Etros tome. Yeah, okay, so there's a forbidden tome we can find, but we don't need to do that at a specific time. There's something that we have to do at Yuznan between 11 and sometime. And there's also this guy, we have to talk to this guy. And we're going to be doing a little bit of teleporting here, folks. We've got to, that's going to eat all of our EP, but we need to, I want to try to make sure that the time-sensitive stuff and the stuff that involves, you must talk to a person on subsequent days, we got to get those done, because I already had too many days pass. We failed a couple of quests by just coming across something about it and then not following up and having the days go by. So we got 4 days left, and there's a couple of quests that, particularly with that guy, is like, oh, I was a journalist, but I wrote a story that got somebody in trouble and they killed themselves, and then it turned out they were innocent, and him, like, you have to shake loose a couple of quests that involve him, I guess. It sounds like, that are, like, you need to spend days talking to him. Look at all the power we have from saved souls. Ooh, but I want to get the ones that are done, marked done, so I can stop worrying about them. Okay. Alright, so we got 3 things going on here. This one we will not be able to complete during an initial game. So we really have nothing left to do in the Dead Dunes that I can make out. Unless I missed quests that I just never came across them. We don't have anything left to do in the Dead Dunes. Except for one of the global treasure chest quests is there. Yuznan we cleared out, except for some global treasure chest stuff. Most of what we've got left to do is in Luxarian and the Wildlands. So, that being said, oddly enough, I think where we want to go next is going to be Yuznan, because of the global item that's there. Although, again, we can go get that on a different day. I don't need to rush for it. But here, we're looking for... Is it Buried Passion? Armand picks up the tale of his friend, describing the young reporters. Okay, so Armand de Santo want to be... I'm looking him up now. Let's complete the cycle. We gotta hit Armand before a certain time of day, and then Luca sells the tears, but for some reason she refused to give any lightning. Okay, Angel's Tears I'll look up instead of this Buried Passions. Angel's Tears. 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Okay, so we can't get her right away anyway, or right now. So we're going to go to get the power booster in the Yuznan Industrial District. So, if your man don't treat you like he used to, we're gonna go in there and get a power booster. And I wonder, one of the paths between areas has actually been opened at this point, because there's Oh, but you know what? I don't think there's ever a road between Yusnan and Luxurion. Okay, never mind. There's no road there. There's a road from Yusnan to the Dead Dunes. There's a road from the Dead Dunes to the Wildlands. There's a road from the Wildlands to Luxurion, and Yusnan and Luxurion are not connected. So we're going to warp. The courage to love. A man who watched and a woman who noticed. If he had just summoned his courage earlier, they could have spent the last 500 years together. Even after living so long, it seems that love can still make a coward out of anyone. Or perhaps it is just too painful to face an endless future where you have tried to love but failed. It is impossible to live in this narrow, drowning world without running into the former lovers every time you turn a corner. Wow. She's really making me feel bad that I haven't had more lovers than I have. Lightning, on the other hand, known to be one who's taken many, many lovers. It is hard to outrun the consequences of failure when you have so much time and so little space. I guess it must be really difficult to deal with, like, an ex. I was about to say this is a thing for girl. I mean, but it happens the other way, too. There are certainly guys who, you know, things don't work out with a girl and she just isn't willing to let it go, even though for both of them she needs to. I think of it the other way because I'm a guy, so I've never had a woman who's just, like, would not let our relationship end, I guess is what I'm saying. But it does happen to some guys. And I don't think I've ever been the creepy stalker, but I've had that inclination to be like, no, she's wrong, we should cover up. This is getting more personal than I usually get. What I'm getting at is, yeah, like, if there's somebody who, like, you're just done, and they won't accept it, it would be difficult if you were both going to live forever and not physically change. Because, you know, whatever it takes to get somebody out of that mindset, for some people who just never want to, it ain't ever happening for these people. So we want to get to the industrial area. They're not very specific about where it is in this IGN guide. I could probably look and find other guides that might be more detailed, but this is probably just knowing it's in the industrial area and that it's going to be kind of shiny and red. Harder, or excuse me, not one quite that hard. Hey man, I'm not your friend, buddy. The people looking for soul clouds. Oh, actually, these guys will give me more EP. So I never just want to forget they're here.
I'll bring back lost time. We'll go easy on you.
Actually lost a tiny bit of health there because I didn't stop at the very, very end to heal. But I got a beat down level 2 and half an EP point, so that's double encounters with those guys. Like, way earlier in the game, that might have been a very threatening encounter. At this point in the game, it's like, oh great, I'm gonna get like 2 of those is almost refilling my EP. You know what? When I say early in the game, I don't even know if that encounter happens early in the game. I believe this is a late game only encounter. And this is really nice because with them short of hit points like this, it's a very fast fight.
You're so eager to die.
It is pretty eager to die.
Better get ready for the next fight.
So this little corner is a place for me to bear in mind. I try not to go crazy with this, but it looks like on the enemies that are available, and not really the enemies themselves, but like the combinations of enemies you'll find change up. Industrial area gate. Oh, industrial district. Okay, industrial area, warehouse district. If this is considered the gate, I wonder if I'm currently considered to be in the industrial area or not once I get down here. Because if it's in this area, that's not that huge a place actually to explore. But I do need to be looking for anything unusual. No, this is actually really good. This encounter and this one in the chaos will be particularly useful. This is actually worth debuffing over, because these guys will have it might have been not that worth debuffing actually.
Tell me about your maker. Okay, let's do this. Okay, let's do this.
Obsession with having complete health, like full 100% health at the end of jobber battles is probably not necessary at this point. I can't think of any unexpected encounters we'll have. Now, by definition, they'd be unexpected encounters, I understand, but this is quite good. That basically gave me a free, because I'm still a little worried about running out of time for these time-sensitive things. As long as I'm encountering those, I'm just going to take that point they gave me of from the chaos. I got an extra free point out of that, and I'm like, okay, what the hell? I will actually cast Chronostasis from that.
Keep up if you can.
So I actually didn't cast deep. I messed all of it. It's not really hurting anything, it's just making it really inefficient. It's not that big a deal at all when they don't have when you're not fighting them in a chaos field, and when they don't have like regen status applied. Like, killing them quickly is just a matter of your own personal convenience. It's not like, oh, if I don't kill them quickly, they're going to regenerate all their shit. So yeah, we're looking around. Twitch has dusted off a thing of reluctant. I don't know, I just glanced down. I was like, oh, reluctant return to Daggerfall. Well, you don't have to play Daggerfall if you don't want to, Grimmeth. Anyway, there's a Chaos Fragment for a minute, or Soul Seed, whatever they're called. I thought for a minute we had actually done something else. I have a bad feeling tonight, but if I do go in there, I will stop having this encounter, which has been useful to me. We got a bronze medal. Every time we find something on the floor, I'm going to think, oh, great! And it's going to not necessarily be what we're looking for.
You can't beat me.
You can't see me.
Unfurl the wings of death.
And heal and murder.
Unfurl the wings of death.
Heavy Strike really does a lot more damage than I wonder, it doesn't make a huge difference, but since I'm not currently... Velvet Bouncer is great when I'm using that item that allows me to steal switch a difference, recover Brave Thief. It's great when I've got that set up, but I currently don't. I wonder if I should just be using Heart Stealer, is it? What's the one that's giving me I could be doing the one, whichever one has you know what, never mind, I'm not going to bother to mess with it. Things are fine. I was going to switch to the one that gives me Artemis Arrow, but just to win these encounters slightly faster, but doesn't really make a difference. No, these guys are okay. These guys are just attacking in groups. That must be something that happens on the later days, and that's really useful as far as like, oh fuck! I hit the wrong button. I didn't mean to overclock. I was just talking about how useful this is for getting EP back, and I hit a single button mistake, and I'm using EP that I didn't mean to use at all. Not the end of the world, but shit. Everything I was about to talk about how useful this was, I just made it not be. I just threw away everything as far as those EPs go. Yuck. Yeah, well, I'm actually getting... I just hit just did not hit the button I meant to hit at all.
What's your most valuable treasure?
So Impero would make Spark Strike hit slightly harder, I think. I'll bring back getting hit in the face. Yeah, got a lot of drops on these guys. Yeah, we'd be full up on AP if I hadn't made that mistake. A one-button input error. There's a treasure chest over here we haven't gotten, so that's whatever's going on over here. It's worth grabbing. Giant's Vambrace.
I'll return you to the void. I'm no thief.
But you are a thief. Still, Okay, now I'm fighting single variant. We hadn't seen any of those in quite a while, so I might have just entered a different encounter zone. Now, as you can see, there's a gate that's open here that was not open before. And it is going to lead to the Dead Dunes. I don't actually feel like we need to go here, because the handful of like species that actually... I'm just picking on random slot. The species that are here, like usually this is patrolled by high-end monsters like those big Juggernaut dudes. I'm running away. They would usually be patrolled by like the Cyclopses and the giant dragon variations, like the high-end scariest monsters that are available in different dungeons, or not, or in, you know, the wilds of the game. But I wiped all of those species out, meaning I think there's nothing left to encounter here. Because otherwise, it's a great place to come grind against high-end enemies for like good item drops and to eventually fight their Omega versions. But I kind of figured out how to fight them without doing it here. So yeah, they're not even giving me, like, I had a chaos thing and then there was no enemies that could spawn in it, so it was kind of just whatever. So I'm basically coming through here to see, hey, is there a treasure chest that's here that's worth wasting the time? Because it's not like I regret having wiped out those species earlier, because what I would have been using this place for primarily now would be to wipe them out now, but since I already did it, it's not a problem I did it before. It's just, unless there's treasure chests that are in here. Treasure chests are much less frequent in this game. They're placed in advance. They're not a thing that is randomized. But I mean, unless there's really a really useful one here. I didn't even check to see what the Giant's Van whatever does. Let's see what the Giant's Van whatever does. The Giant's Van Hammer. Increases resistance to debrave by 100%, so not a thing we're likely to be using. There's not that many enemies that do debrave, and the ones that do would be like probably status ailment oriented bosses like that Grendel thing from the end of the Dead Dunes chapter that give you a bunch of debuffs, of which debrave is. There's some gold dusts. Basically, you sell it for cash. But like debrave wouldn't be the one that's a threat to you. It will slow down your ability to inflict damage, but it's not gonna get you killed. Like if you have an enemy that only does Debrave and is annoying, get a thing that prevents it from casting Debrave. If it's casting like a whole bunch of status ailments, which is how these bosses in this game tend to be, like if they're a status ailment oriented boss, Debrave is not the one that you're going to want to prioritize. You don't want it lingering. It makes it tough to finish the fight. I think I have explained this thoroughly enough now. So we're getting, yeah, what have I gotten out of this so far? Some gold dust, which is basically just cash. Soul seeds. A soul seed. I don't know if it's been soul seeds. We got like a soul seed. A bronze medal, which is just cash. So I'm almost positive there's no real reason for me to be doing this. Which is what? Crystal medal. Might be worth more than gold dust, but either way, it's cash. We may, this is why I saved before I came down, so I could just load and undo. But hey, I wanted you guys to see what this is like. This is exactly what it would be like under normal circumstances, except we would have enemies like Cyclopses, those fire-themed dragons, the wind-themed dragons, I'm not noticing anything that are like key objects for a quest. Although you never know, they could always show up. Lots of chaos infusions pop up here, so you end up fighting like Cyclopses. They're pretty tough, but I can fight it. Oh no, a chaos infusion! Now it's a chaos infused Cyclops, so it's got extra damage and hit points and regen. This will be very challenging for me. But I wiped all that shit out. Juggernauts, another one. Yeah, those big giant robots that shoot flames and shit. You've seen them in various Final Fantasy XIII games. That's a very silly sounding phrase, I know. I think what I might do is just run to where Chocobocolina is. And see if talking to her, which sometimes is like a random place in the game for you to get progress or rewards or notification that something is unlocked. We'll go talk to her and see if having traversed one of those roads by foot. I was going to chop that thing's tail off, and then I realized I'm about to look, so it won't matter. But we get what we could just to like make absolutely sure that the game isn't like you traversed the road between, specifically between Yuznan and Deadlands. Your reward is ultimate item, because it could be that like there's some kind of in-game reward for traversing each of those roads once. Because they're meant to, like, from a design perspective, they're meant to be a pretty dangerous as far as, like, the enemies that you have to fight there. And it's not something that you, like, if you get your gear set up for fighting Juggernauts and hang around where Juggernauts spawn, and you have exactly the spells and equipment, you know, elemental damage reducing accessories for the things it's good at doing, spells that are good at the things it doesn't want to get hit with, etc., like, you can handle them. So, I don't know why, but it's really a little checkerboard pattern bleeding right into sand seemed interesting to me. That is the train schedule.
The canvas of prayers.
Okay, roadwork 2. Oh, because I picked up that thing, so it's now ready to complete. So we will get this. I've got to load the game. We'll get this later, again. But for now, the reward, which we will... Gridanian Sword, Gridanian Sigil. I did this one off screen because it involved, this is, like I said, I was trying to figure out how this works. And it involved Lizard's Tail times 20, and we only have 3. So this is a thing we could come back and work on, but it's, whatever. Yellowed Skull times 20, we only have 9. I must have given them away in some other quest. I think you get them by exploring, like you kill those skeleton statues, which sometimes become enemies and fight you, but I've wiped out the species. So they always just crumble into an unappraised item or yellowed skull. If I really want this one, I'd need to do that. And then this, I need to get proof of unlocking the light gate. Which, okay, I know what's going on here. All right, so we're gonna call it a video. Road from the Wildlands to Dead Dune is open. That's not the one I just traversed, is it? No.
You did it! You made someone's prayers come true!
See, that one guy, that one road guy seems to have a lot of prayers. I wonder if new items are available now. Yeah, you're Zaz's chick, whatever.
Fancy meeting you again.
You don't got nothing new. They said some merchants will have new stuff, but you do not appear to be one of them.
Now I hear they keep making it further and further into the ruins. I thought maybe I ought to take a look around too.
Now that I know other people have done the real work, I thought I would come here and try to take some of the credits.
Just for you.
Oh, he might have new gear, yeah. Look here, he's got the Deja Vu. Metagard level 3. Not bad. So whereas HP dwindles, the stronger her attacks become. Oh, interesting. So she's got Strike Back. Increases damage dealt to enemies when HP is at 30% or lower. And, really ridiculous costume. But not as useful as the other stuff, this guy. He's got status ailment resistance and, he's got status ailment resistance and ATB recovery boosting stuff that comes with D-Protect and D-Shell. So that was useful for a lot of the game for me. But no, we're going to call it a video. And when we come back next time, we're going to actually, I'm going to load. We're going to be back before we cross that road. Trying to find a turbo booster. See you next time.